Good evening and welcome to this wonderful show of ours, the International Day of the Disabled. In case some of you may not know that it was in 1992 only that the United Nations did the UN Declaration of Human Rights. And that is when we began celebrating the International Day of the Disabled, which is a great day for all of us. We thought, there's always a sorry picture and, someone feeling sorry and pity and sympathy, oh, poor thing, they should be at home or whatever. So we said, come on, blow it, that's not what ADAPT is about. So we have actually focused on success. And at the same time, Pulin and PhotoQuip came forward and said, there's some very good photographers, well-known, commercial, and they're all sitting here. Can we give them a hand? Where is Ronnie Sequeira, Bhargavi, Shastri Nair, Shashi Nair, and Mahesh Hiramat. Come on now, don't feel shy. So we thought that it would be nice, really, to focus on a couple of our colleagues. So they did a wonderful photo shoot, and you will actually see an AV of that. And there are four very successful people. One is Dr. Sam Tarapurwala. I'm not sure if you know him. He's a professor at St. Xavier's College. Then Professor Ketna Mehta, who's here with us. Thank you for being with us. Malini Chib. And then we had a very interesting doctor, and I'm sure you'll know him, Taral, that is from Delhi, Dr. Satinder Singh. So unfortunately, they are both being felicitated today. So they couldn't come, but you'll see a lot of them in the AV and also our photo exhibition at the back. But may I just say, many, many congratulations. And I don't want to say, how brave you are, what a courageous thing you've done, because that's usually what is piled onto people with disability. But I just want to acknowledge the tremendous hard work you must have put in to have achieved so much. So can we just give a tribute and put our hands together? We want to hear them, and we want to see all the AVs. And so I'm not going to be very long, but I will be talking about three issues. One will be a little bit about the history, and then go on to the need of the hour, and then the way forward. But before I do that, I just want to say another successful thing that we are showcasing today are this glittering array of panelists, just to show that we have some very, very good people, good human beings who are our friends. And I'm sure that you know all your names, if you will forgive me if I don't do honor to each one of you. But may I also thank you all very much for agreeing to be here. You're also going to be chaired by Dr. Rupin Shah. So can we just put our hands together for our panelists? And really, last but not least, although we forgot the ribbon, we forgot the scissor, we must say that we have a very good team of people. They're extremely committed, dedicated, and I think we are a little mad here, passionate. That's us. So just here's to madness. Well, just a little bit historically, we find that the disabled were given a rotten end because they were basically in the Ministry of Education, HRD. But government in its wisdom put them on to Ministry of Welfare, thinking that it's rehabilitation they need, that they need care and custodial care. This was a very detrimental step for them. And therefore, in my doctorate, we are arguing that this is known as institutional discrimination because it comes right from the top to the bottom. So wherever you go, you meet exclusion. I'm just actually talking about India because, I'm very fortunate and lucky that we spent a lot of time in England with my daughter. And it's not like that elsewhere. So here we have this in the custodial care rehabilitation, which actually neglected them for years and years. And even when a very important education secretary called Kothari said that they should be in the Ministry of Education, it was not complied with. But having said all that, I just want to tell you a little bit about our fight, because we have eventually got them into the right to education. So they are there. That was quite a fight. Even after 40 years, they were left out. So we did everything. So we put in those two words, including disability. So that has happened, and that in the length and breadth of the country has really helped enormously. Because now, thanks. Now the thing is, it is what I'm going for is really punitive action if schools are not complying. Because unless you have accountability and some form of inspection and action, it's just legislation on the shelf. So we're going to be towards that. And so the way forward here is really, we're beginning with a couple of schools. When we say a couple of schools, it's about 100 schools. And then what we're going to do is do what is school preparedness, because the teachers are obviously not at all aware of what to do and how to go about it. It's not their fault. Think of the dysfunctioning that's happened outside. So that's exactly what the gap that is going to be the way forward for us. And we hope that we can bring in a code of practice, which will be a kind of a Bible here. And I sincerely hope, with all your help, that we can take punitive action and make this accountable. The other thing that's happened all over the world is things have changed a lot. Don't mind me, because I might be a little too pessimistic. But you must have read in the papers now that the government of Maharashtra, which I think it's fantastic in their wisdom, is going to start ministry here in Maharashtra of special needs. I think specially able they've called it, which is extremely good. Earlier it was called Divyang and whatever nonsense, but now it's going to be called special needs. And we are obviously going to try and jump in on that ministry. But I'm so pleased that it is Supriya Sule, because she's again a little bit of a friend. So we hope that we can give in our information, our knowledge over the last 48 years. But what has happened around the world is a new orthodoxy, and it's called social model. The thing is, you no longer look at a disability as pathologized and wheelchair bound and can't be thinking, etc. That is the medical model, where everyone has to be so-called normal. I mean, that's assuming that we are all normal. We are not disabled in any way. Nobody has heard of invisible disability, but however. So that's what is now the medical models thrown out. The social models come in, and the social model talks about the environment, a barrier-free environment. In America, of course, as you know, it's called the least restrictive environment. But barrier-free does not mean just ramps and toilet. Now, I've said that many times, so must be quite stereotypical that. But barrier-free means attitudes. It's what are people like? You know, do they understand diversity? Do they understand that people can walk and move and hear and speak differently? Do they understand that? Because then we might as well go and live in the jungle. But diversity has been addressed all over. And this is why I'm really pleased in a selfish manner with Lena's group from Tata Sons that they have a wonderful book called Diversity Matters. And of course, we're trying to put in disability, and it's a wonderful reason that you've got Malini in there. So it is really societal attitudes we are changing. It's transformation of society and the attitudes. May I just say that it's all happened abroad many years ago. So it's just here that we have to really change societal attitudes to all this pity and charity and all that, to really positive things. So with the attitudinal change, we just hope that more people will come into disability. So we are talking about transformation of schools, reculturation, and teacher preparedness. So that's the way forward, and working very closely with regular, not special ed teachers, but more with regular teachers. So we are right into the Ministry of HRD on that. The other gap, and this is coming on to employment. There's a huge gap in the CSR policy. They have not positioned disability. I mean, I'm on the board of Coca-Cola. For what reason, I don't know, but I am there for the last 6-7 years. But what I've found is they'll do a whole lot of other things. Of course, I'm not against anything in the social sector, because that's what CSR is about, for companies to look beyond their own shareholders' needs and their own wealth, and to go out and to see the health of the community, the social sector, and the contribution. So that's not there. So very few companies, and one of the main things one learned in the doctoral research is the issue must be placed in the policy agenda. Once it's placed, you've got a budgetary allocation. And then you're opening up onto a macro level around the country. So that, in fact, is basically what we did do with education. And now we are moving on to business houses and corporates. And we are not letting, obviously, government off the hook, because a lot of their institutions have they have not brought in skills development. So we will be changing that as well. So much for all the change. But those are really the areas we will go forward. I think everyone knows that ADAPT is based on 3 principles of sustainability, charity, and the provision of high quality services. So we continue to do that. We certainly continue to work beyond personal wealth or power or prestige. But we won't be able to achieve a thing if you didn't come with us, because it's a long haul. It's a huge struggle. So thank you all for being with us. Stay with us, because we need everyone's help to actually build another caring India. and don't think about yourself. Just go beyond the needs. And remember, the right is to work only. Thank you so much.